Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, and we're ready to rip another one. Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, Episode 8, and I'm running it down with two of the best in the business. I was here for the dram, AK. What's happening?
I'm here, man. I'm here for all of the drama and all of the tomfoolery and shenanigans of this episode.
Absolutely. They keep it fun. They keep it moving. And again, I think they're just starting to build that crescendo right up to the end. It seems like it's getting better and better every week. What's up? This is Cinema. How are we doing tonight, fandom?
Indeed, yet another great episode of Only Murders in the Building. First it was Ahsoka, now it's Only Murders. Like this is probably like my favorite episode of this season yet, and it's just episode 8. Seeing how what went down this episode, I'm like, wait a minute, is this the penultimate or what?
Is it going to get better? Is it just going to keep going? Is it going to keep building? I think so, and I am here for it, ready to talk about it. We getting into it. Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, Episode 8, and this one's just called Sitzprobe. And we open with a big one given to us. Loretta is indeed Dickie's mom, and we see that she did give him up for her career, but can we really be mad at her when she was obviously seduced by Creepy McCreepison and a visiting director from New York? Like, are we mad at her fandom?
I was like, what the hell? How old was she in that one scene and this damn director? Because I'm side-eyed in this one. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, that was
her dad wasn't side-eyeing.
There's like legal, like, oh, they probably could end up dating and thing X, Y, and Z, but still, it's creepy.
Yeah, no, that was way messed up. She even went as far as finding the perfect situation with a family that was unable to have a child of their own. I mean, so she went through the steps. She did everything she could. She like took care of it. It's not like, she didn't just drop it off or give it up for adoption. Never like she found the perfect.
Even got updates.
Loving parents. What's that, AK?
She even got updates, and that's not very common with adoptions.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's insane. But the fact that she did all that, I can't be too mad at her. I mean, she got put in a messed up situation. She was young, and she did what she thought was best for everybody. So I wasn't too mad at that situation. We also see why Loretta lied to get the audition. It was indeed to get closer to her son, dear brother Dickie.
Yeah.
It's nice to see she's ready to come clean, but she's been around him for months now. I mean, what's up, fandom? Isn't it a little late for this?
Nah, because she was just that nervous. It's like trying to ask that one chick out, and you're like, okay, how long am I just gonna prolong? And finally, you're gonna finally do something about it.
She just had to wait for that perfect time.
Now I gotta rewatch the first episode. Like maybe she wanted to say something, on the first time around when Ben was gonna die, but then Ben just pops out of nowhere saying, "Oh no, I'm actually alive. I didn't like die in the hospital. No. When I died in the hospital, I died on stage."
Oh, this antenna is killing me. I got to figure that thing out. What is going on?
Ignore it. So far, you haven't been cutting out.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, while we hear the monologue, we see Loretta finally notice the scrapbook Oliver took was missing, and she wonders if there's still time to make things right. Like, what do you think Dickie's reaction is going to be when he finds out, AK?
Hard to tell. I think it's going to be a large mix of several different emotions because he's her manager now, so he definitely thinks she has talent. He cares for her, at least as a person. He wants to be proud of her, and I think we've seen that in their interactions. I want to say that he may have some small inclination, but once he finds out exactly what it is, it's nothing that you can call what any one person is going to do after getting that news at that point in time in their life, especially.
Then we break into my favorite part, the opening Easter egg. And I was so disappointed this time. They just made it crazy, blatant, obvious. What? I was like, wait a minute. What was up with that, Phantom?
I agree with you. I was like, okay, let me like sit down, like
I gotta tell me what it was.
Single thing. I even literally, this is the first time I even like try to change the settings to like lower it down the speed, and then literally when the guy came, I was like, really? Anyone could see this.
There was no Easter egg about it. It was just right up in your face. Here it is. No guessing, nothing. But I don't know. Yeah, Dickie, I don't know. Is he just a blubberer, or is he a good actor and maybe the best actor in the whole theater?
Highly possible. Could be both. I mean, who's to say those terrors won't be real, but he'll still use them to his advantage.
Well, But yeah, that crazy easy Easter egg. It's like it made me like think, was that like what? Because it was almost too easy. So I was like, well, was that like a next?
What was it?
Oh, it was just a concert master up there, concert director on top of the thing, just directing, just standing there directing, like he's standing on the ledge directing
For the first orchestra.
Yeah. So it was like, was that like a next level Easter egg, like an Easter egg inside another Easter egg? The fact that it was so in your face obvious that like kind of like the Loretta reveal, like maybe
kind of. I was actually looking at their faces to sound like, are they like somewhat related in real life? Because their smiles are actually quite similar. Or maybe they just did that with camera angles being shot really well.
I don't know, but are we buying that she's the killer, fandom?
Oh, Meryl Streep?
Yeah.
Nah, she ain't.
Oh, how about you?
This whole episode just like blatantly said like, oh, a mother would do anything for her son, and like literally the son is about to be like arrested and blamed for like the murder of Ben. Yeah, she's gonna like say, "I know it was me," but now I'm kind of thinking it could be Dickie though, and he's like crying, like having second thoughts and whatnot, feeling guilty. So I'm kind of like leaning towards it could be Dickie, and he's kind of like happy, like, "Oh shit, this is a good opportunity, and I could throw my mom underneath the bus."
You know what though? Honestly, if you look at the way a defense lawyer might go about this, the best thing to do for both of them would be to let her take the rap and then propose the probable cause that there is someone else that it could have been. Perhaps these set of circumstances happened. Not saying that that other person is guilty, but you can't say that it's really one or the other. I don't think either one of them did it though.
Yeah, I'm with you and Jake Cruz. No way that either one of them are the killer. No way it's dear brother Dickie.
It's not in them to do that.
It's just like
it could have been the first time when he poisoned him, I think, because he said that there was an argument that happened that night.
I don't think he even poisoned him.
And the fact that they went Ned Stark on it. Poison is a woman's weapon.
Yeah. They made sure to point that out like 5 times in a row.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. That's unless they're just literally trying to throw us off that hard. It doesn't feel like it. Oh, but when Loretta saw Dickie, she had the letter in hand, and she asked if they could have dinner later and talk, or she just could give him something and then run away. Like, what's up, fandom? What option do you think she should have chosen? I say just hand him the letter.
Yeah, hand him the letter, then run away.
Yeah, just get it out there. I mean, you come this far, like, don't pause, don't wait, don't do anything. Let's just get this out there.
But you can get a free dinner, though.
I was about to. I mean,
why cook? Don't cook for a man. I swear.
Hold up. Why not both though?
Give him the letter, and then, well, obviously, if she gives him the letter later,
give him the letter. Tell him don't read it until they get to dessert. Then go have dinner, sit, chit chat, read, and then.
At that time you're sitting there, just tell him. I don't want to read a letter. Just tell me I'm sitting right here. But yeah,
it's not easy for everyone.
That's true. Then Oliver's ready to start the Sitzprobe and vows no distractions. Of course, then Mabel walks in and it's an instant distraction and he takes 2. You think the 2 olds were like too accepting of Mabel, like doing the first episode of the podcast alone? Like, should have flipped her a little more shit. Like, she said she wanted to solve the murder because she actually meant something to her. Now it seems like it was just convenient, good content for the podcast.
I mean, who's to say it couldn't be both? Again, and I still don't think that she was wrong because they were both fucking around on some bullshit. And one of them, he blatantly said, I don't give a damn about this case or about this podcast right now. So I'm not going to sit there and just try to continue to try to beg them to get it together. Nah, all right. Y'all don't want to do it? Cool. That's it. I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah, I agree with the AK here.
You don't think they should have held out a little longer or flipped her a little more shit about that?
Nah, because like you said, like one of them was pretty much worried about moving in with his girlfriend, then the proposal. The other was mainly focused on the play.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver was a little bit pissed off because he wasn't included.
Oh. No, it's right. You had nerve to come back and say, "Well, no, I told you I didn't want to be in there, but I still reserve the right to be upset about not being included." Bitch, you said you didn't want to be there.
Hey,
why would you be on the team?
He never said he didn't want to be there. He just said he had things to
Yes,
do at the
he did.
time, but he always wanted to be there.
Telling you, the laughs in this episode, I loved it.
He
Man.
reserves a right. I'm glad she did verify that she's staying with Theo, who I believe is still living at the Arconia, so that still keeps her in the building. So that's cool. And then loved awkward Charles like talking about the trio's back, trying to get him to bring it in real quick, but they just weren't quite there yet. Like poor Charles just wants the band back together, and I feel him. I love how everyone like got the same update on Greg being released, like just singing half-assed, more interested in reading the latest alert that just came through. It's like, why are your phones not on silent during practice? I don't know. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but that's more realistic. Like, how many times you at work or doing something important and then your phone's not on silent? So it was realistic there.
The whole theater, they were all doing it. Like
At
nobody
the theater, though, yeah,
Nobody
that
was
was crazy. Everybody in the line, all them phones went off. That would never happen in a real theater. Nah,
They were like,
you get real quick off the stage for some shit like that.
just reading the phone and half-assed singing. I was dying.
That just tells you that
But,
they
like-
really care about this musical and who's directing it of all people.
Yeah.
Arts just weren't in it. But we already talked about it backstage. How great was the reintroduction of Detective Williams? Just Loretta sings out, "Who goes there?" And right on cue, Detective Williams busts in. NYPD, motherfucker.
With all of the
Yeah.
boastiness of NYPD.
They could not set her return up any better.
Oh man, she's great.
What I did not like was her saying the true killer was in that room because I did not see Uma lurking around. Like, I don't know. And I also wonder, like, why is Dickie there? Like, I know he's Loretta's manager, but why is he at the theater now? What purpose does that serve?
You said it, the manager.
Other people
He's
probably have
got to follow the talent. That
Just-
is
just
a
like
good
with
question,
Ben.
though. Wasn't he doing something else with the
He's
play
not-
itself?
No, he was just sitting there, like, looking up at lights and shit. Like, she's already
he-
got the job. You don't have to get her a job. Like, what are you doing here right now? Like, why is she at this?
Remembering his brother, maybe? I mean, it's not like he really has shit else to do.
I mean, maybe that's just it. Just a lost puppy with nowhere else to go. Is that what it was?
He looks I mean, if it was me, honestly, being the theater kid that I am, I get it.
I know the murder wasn't there. The murder was at the building. Like, but then again, he really has no reason to be at the Arconia. So I guess he had like this is second best or something. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, why is Dickie even there? That just kind of was a little bit off to me. And then, of course, keeping the metagame alive, Oliver steps in and says, "Not to pour water on this perfectly executed surprise reunion." I was like, "No shit." But it wasn't really said. I don't know if we could call it a surprise. Like that other detective pretty much let us know what was coming at the end of the last episode. But I agree, it was perfectly executed.
I was waiting for this because I think in one of the trailers you see that detective, and I'm just like, every other episode, I'm like, when is she coming back? When is she coming back? And it took us only until near the end of the season for her return.
Right? Took a minute. I think she was filming some other show. She probably like couldn't make it back for more than one episode or two. But yeah, it's pretty dope. Also called it that someone covered up the fact that Ben was indeed poisoned at the theater. She let that one out. So I like that these little one-liners that they let us know, like, yep, you called this one. Yep, this is what this was. So they're starting to fill us in on some of the details coming in towards the ending. And Donna and Cliff are beside themselves, not because the cops came in, but because Maxine the critic is there. Like, doesn't the fact that they're more worried about Maxine than the cops pretty much prove that they're not the killers?
Does
But
it?
they're just good at covering it up, or seem like less likely the suspects.
Here's a random ass thought. What if it's the critic that did it? Because I know Oliver said he invited her, but why the hell would a critic be at a practice?
Because he invited her. Because I thought that too. I was like, oh, there's somebody else that was at both things. And
I cannot think of one critic on the theater circuit that would do that. Invitation or not, there's no reason for her to be there unless maybe she needed to keep tabs on something.
Really?
else.
They were acquaintances because she did like review his like old work before. So he's like, for when.
Well, yeah, I get that, but she's there specifically in her role as a critic.
Yeah, and how much drama.
That's why it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, how much drama is on the circuit? I mean, this is like a new coming play. Failed director is making his great
A
big
failed
comeback.
director that already got a failed review of the previous iteration of this play. That wasn't that long ago. That's still going to be in people's minds.
But she never got to pan it because of the death. She never got to put that out, and now she's got an in to come in and write another one and actually get that bashing in, which she said she was there to do. But now she
New
can't.
York Broadway. It's New York Broadway. I guarantee you that assessment got out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they explained it well enough why she was there. I wasn't too mad at that, but yeah, that is interesting that she was there for both murders. She wasn't at the Arconia though.
She wasn't at the Arconia, no.
That we know of. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that she was at the.
But that we know of.
Right, exactly. But I did find it strange that Donna ended the conversation with Oliver by telling him to loosen up. You're as stiff as that wooden lighthouse we had built. That was an odd turn of phrase to end on. Like, I don't know. It would just seem so out of place. Like, why say that? Like, I don't know. Did that seem a little off to you, Phantom?
I mean, she's always abusive towards Oliver, so it's like, yeah.
It's just a weird, random turn of phrase, though. Like, loosen up. You're as stiff as that wooden lighthouse. Like, the cops just came in and are about to arrest my entire cast. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't know. That whole thing was just weird to me. But Oliver turns on the charm to influence Detective Williams to do the interrogations there at the theater instead of dragging everybody downtown. And it actually worked. Like, why does murder have to be such a dreary business anyway? Like, just put the Putnam into it. I was here for it. Then the three of them come very close to actually bringing it in one time, and they realize they have to work together to crack this case. But Howard runs in and cockblocks the whole thing. And what was he talking about? I have a huge clue to crack the case, but only Mabel and her famous, fabulous sweaters can come. Like, like get bent. This is my show. You about to show me?
I don't even have any words for that guy. Like, come on, man.
I wonder what it was. Then when it was revealed, I'm like, "You're kidding me!" Oh my gosh! But then it does go back to that previous episode where we did see, I forgot what's her name, highlighted. Yeah, she highlighted that one line or so, but then because it was highlighted wrong, she shredded it, and the camera panned to it. So it's like, and surprised that in this entire episode, we don't see her get interviewed, her mention being interviewed, or anything. So it's like, huh.
I mean, we did put two and two together and figured. I mean, they panned to that thing and they said the door was locked and there was a weird noise in there, and then they verified this episode that the weird noise was indeed the shredder going off. So somebody was in there locked in a locked door shredding something. So that's going to be obviously the clue of clues. We need to see who was in there and what they were shredding. But they'll probably let that one out next episode. And yeah, that definitely had meaning. But with Howard's skillless ass, like, we still have no idea what it was that got shredded the night of Ben's murder. Like, do we have any guesses on what that could be, AK?
Not a one. Like, even the way he was trying to put it together just didn't make sense. Like, dude, like, Mabel extended him the highest amount of grace. I mean, for spinning it to put it in a positive to let him be okay staying on the team. Like, come on, man.
Does the fact that Howard brought this clue to Mabel's attention clear him of being a suspect? Or is he like the killer just giving her busy work to keep her occupied and not trying to look for other clues like that'll lead her to him? What do you think, Phantom?
Nah, I don't see Howard being the murderer at all.
He ain't that smart.
Yeah, he couldn't do that. He doesn't get those elaborate schemes like the old Stu.
I would be highly surprised if it was him.
We see Charles acting like an idiot trying to stay in his dressing room to hear the interrogations, but we find out later that it was all an elaborate setup to get the camera in the room to tape everything. Not too shabby for a couple olds, but what are the odds that they actually got a decent recording, Fandom? Because we never saw her look at that footage.
True, but they had to. Like, all that back and forth. Like, that was genius.
That's great, but I'm 90% that they're going to look at that.
I feel like it's not going to happen nothing on there because somebody forgot to push a button.
You never
or forgot to turn the volume up before they left. Nah, man.
I can see that happening too with Charles. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
All that drama, all that extra legwork, all that stupid movement for nothing.
Oh, what's up? Could it have been Tobert in there shredding some papers, getting rid of some evidence?
Could be. And conveniently, he wasn't even here this episode.
I don't know. Where was Tobert? That should have been my thing.
He said he was on a job.
Yeah. Not where's Waldo? Where's Tobert? Yeah, he's supposedly doing a commercial shoot, but I don't know. Are we buying that?
Nope, because
that could easily be justified if it's looked into.
Commercials.
What's that?
Because he doesn't have like anything lined up now since Ben is gone, so he's scrambling to make money.
Got to pay those bills. This is New York. It's expensive.
Yeah, you can't just sit there.
He doesn't live in New York, does he?
He's staying up there right now.
I don't think they explain for a while. Live.
And if he doesn't have a house, it's probably even more expensive. Airbnbs, hotels, that shit adds up.
Yeah.
But Loretta texts Oliver and confronts him about taking something from her apartment. And I love how he's so centered. He immediately starts talking about, you don't owe me an explanation. Like, what? You came into my place taking things that weren't yours. Talking about, I don't owe you an explanation. The nerve of this guy.
You stole out my house and you think that I was going to give you an explanation about what?
Right?
Get the fuck out of here with that.
I'm surprised it took that long in the episode for her to like bring that up. I thought that was like one of the first things that was going to be like mentioned this episode, but it was like delayed a lot.
Why did it take so long for her to even notice that was gone? For how important it was to her.
I mean, we don't know how many days went by, but yeah, I mean, maybe she had just looked at it. So like, this was like a couple days that went by and now she's not doing it. I like that, Jake, that she's going to end up with, but wouldn't she have already, maybe she's not, maybe she just grabbed it and she doesn't know. And yeah, maybe Tobert accidentally left something on there that she's going to find evidence of the murder or something that maybe indicts Tobert, the one I first indicted. I saw him 2 seconds on the screen. I don't know. Oh, he said we've seen his. Streep's acting in that scene was fantastic. Streep's acting in this whole series is fantastic. Streep's acting in life is fantastic.
Right, exactly. She just is the moment. Always.
Absolutely the best. But when Oliver said, it's not like I think you're the killer, Loretta, like Loretta looked awestruck at the fact that anyone could even think that. Like, that just kind of let me know right then and there, there's no way she could be the killer.
I don't think it's her or Dickie.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who just yet, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think it's either one of them.
Still side-eyed. See, I'm still side-eyeing Dickie a little bit.
Side-eyeing him a little bit. Yeah, he has motive. I just don't think he would have done that, especially from the way he reacted this time.
He poisoned him. The poison didn't kill him. He was relieved. Then whoever ended up killing him the second time was able to do it. But I still think it was like 3 people, like DJ said. 3 babies, 3 murderers. Someone was the accomplice. Which of the accomplices did it? Which is the one who committed this crime. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that song ain't good.
Whoever came up, yeah, kudos to the writers that did that part right there. Because, yeah, that's why I loved it.
That's too dope. We got to put a beat behind that one and see what's up. How many people in the club pick it up? Let me see. But who could actually be the killer is Bobo's strange ass. Like, trying to use the police interview as a family therapy session. Like, bro, do you not have any friends? Like, is he just trying to throw Williams off his scent or what? Because he was being all kinds of outlandish.
Could be a bit of both. Throw a scent off, and 2, by all means, get a free therapy session right out of it.
One of the 3 did it by accident. Maybe. But yeah,
I'm still holding out that it could have been just an accident.
No, I think
someone may have been. It may look like they were responsible for it, but I think it could have still just been an accident.
I think we might find out next episode that one of the things that Dickie told Loretta when they were out there in the lobby was that he did try to poison him, but it didn't work. But he doesn't know who pushed him down the thing, and then that's where she just kind of filled in. She was free, letting it fly. She said, nope, that was me. I did that. So, yeah, maybe that's how she knew. Because I was like, well, how did she even know if she wasn't the murderer? How did she even know that he was poisoned with rat poison? Like, she was never even in the theater when they were looking over there at KT's office. So, how did she even know about the rat poison?
Did she say specifically rat poison?
Yeah, that when she gave the big confession at the end, she's like, I poisoned the cookies. And then when that didn't work, I pushed them down the elevator. I was like, how did she?
I thought she was just scrambling to say shit just to be saying shit.
That's what I did, and that's
or maybe she did hear that from someone, and she just used it because she wants to make herself look as guilty as possible.
I don't know. Yeah, that was just too weird. Like, how did she know about the rat poison? What made her say?
You sure
that?
she said rat poison or just poison?
Yeah, I think she said just poison. I don't recall her saying specifically rat poison. I don't know. Can anyone fact check that for us? Who's silently listening in the chat real quick?
I thought she specifically said, maybe it's just because they kept flashing to it that was in my head, but I could have swore she said I put rat poison in the cookies and pushed it on the elevator. But yeah, I have to check that out. But yeah, interesting. They remind us that poison is a woman's weapon, and like, I don't know, is that just a red herring that they've already told us?
Exactly.
Unless you're the Red Viper.
They already said it once. They did like woman murders like twice, first and second season. You're gonna do it a third time now? Come on now. Don't do it. Don't make that be the red herring.
See, yeah, because they're going back and forth. Because yeah, like you said, they've already told us that the woman is a killer thing has already been done. So which is it? Like, did the woman do it or the woman not do it? Or a woman tried to poison him and that didn't work, and it was actually a man that pushed him down the elevator, or that was just an accident. We'll see. Is it weird that Loretta walks around with Scotch tape on her person?
Yeah, it wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't. She didn't say poison. She just said poison.
She just said poison.
Just poison.
Disgusting protein drink. Mm-hmm. Oh, she said she poisoned his protein drink. She never mentioned what she used. Oh, see, I thought she poisoned the cookie. Okay, nice. So it wasn't even the cookies that she said she poisoned. It was his protein drink. What about his cocktail? But yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, why is this woman walking around with Scotch tape on her all the time? Like she gave us a reason, but that was weird.
She likes to be a handy person. Like legit, if you look in my briefcase right now, there's probably a roll of Scotch tape in there. And a pair of scissors.
It was literally right after I asked out loud, why does she have Scotch tape on her? She literally answered right on par.
Some people are weird like that, bro. Just naturally. Yeah. We just be doing shit like that.
It was just funny that the show actually answered. Like, as soon as I asked that question out loud, like, she answered out loud on the show, side gig. I'm a professional gift wrapper. I was like, well, that was funny. Like, they knew everybody was going to be like, why does she have Scotch tape on her? Like, I don't know. Are we buying that she's a professional gift wrapper fandom?
Indeed.
Yes.
You seen her apartment, man.
Right. I was about to say, you in New York. Yo, you scrambling, making every little scrap bit of funds you can. 3-4
jobs, whatever it takes. Yep. Loretta tries to get close to Mabel and says she wants to help with the investigation. And at first, Mabel says, yeah, that's exactly what some murderers would do. And again, Loretta seemed just shocked at the notion. So I'm just not believing that she's the killer.
Not at all.
Like, every time somebody says, like, are you the killer? Or you could be, that's what a killer is. She's like, oh my gosh, like me? Like, are you kidding?
It's almost like, gasp, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like before this episode, you would think that she's one of them. And now this episode is like hitting the nail on it. Like, she's not.
Yeah, for sure. Not. Even though this is the one that she actually confesses to it. Now we're like most certain that it's not her. It's like, oh, this show is fantastic. Then we see her real motives. We're just trying to talk Mabel out of seeing that Dickie is not a suspect. Like, you can't, my son is not the person. Come on. It's funny when Loretta was talking about being a late bloomer and Mabel was like, yeah, I'm a bit of a late bloomer myself. And Loretta just dead-eyed her. Like, girl, if you don't sit back with that nonsense, I am 74 years old. You are 29. You can take all the seats.
But stop it.
That look that she gave her when Mabel's like, yeah, I'm a bit of a late bloomer too. She was like,
ma'am, define late in your understanding.
Oh, that was fantastic. I love that. Just the little details in the show is amazing. But the more Loretta tries to sway Mabel into thinking that Dickie didn't do it, the more she makes it look like she actually did. Like, but what is a mother to do?
Mm-hmm.
Charles and Oliver even get like KT in on the ruse to get Detective Williams interested enough to have to go see Charles visit the White Room for herself. Like, she even gets on the intercom and it's like, oh, dear Lord, help us all. So they're all in it to get this woman out of here. I like how they did go elaborate on this one. But for the first time, Charles actually slays the patter song and makes it like last long enough for Oliver to get the camera properly in place. But like I said, I still don't think that there's going to be any usable footage on there once Mabel actually looks at it. But how sick was that song when Charles nailed it? Like, it was fantastic.
He hit that, yeah. The more I hear that song, the more I like it.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, you got to put a beat behind that and remix it. I may need to get a copy of that like patter song. Like I said, that needs a beat. But Howard trying to pull the like shredded paper back together was an epic fail. And again, like, was he just stalling Mabel out? Like, she said she wanted to help, but he chased her away saying, "This is what I do." So like then when he failed like that, trying to say, "Oh well, there probably wasn't anything important in here anyway." Like, wait a minute, what? Which is it? What's going on with Howard right here, fandom?
But he did find like some partial, so it's like it wasn't like entirely a waste.
Yeah, but why was she? I mean, Mabel's like, "Hey, I'm kind of into puzzles too. This is kind of my thing too. Let me help." And he's like, "Get away from here!" Like he chased her off. Why? Why not take the help? That's a taunting dash. So
Nah, he just like how she said, like, oh, maybe if you're able to help, you can be part of the podcast. He's like, we be part of the podcast, but probably just wanted like his shine for a bit.
I think that's what it is too.
I just thought that was weird. It's like I'd want all the help I could get in a task like that. So that was weird that he was so.
'Cause remember, at that moment, it was like just her doing the podcast. So maybe he just thought to himself, wait a minute, maybe if I actually help with the investigation, boom, I would have been part of it.
I like that, Jake, that Loretta will get released once she can name what the actual poison was.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she'll be out by next episode. Mabel then notices that rat poison in the office and realizes that the killer may well have stood in that very spot the night of Ben's murder. And after Mabel sets Howard up to the task of getting that shredded paper back together, she meets her olds out in the hall to find they actually pulled off a pretty elaborate scheme to get Mabel what she wanted. Like, that truly was so corny, but still a little cute that the three finally bring it in. They decide it's time to bring the band back together. They're like, finally, here we go. But why was Donna in the bathroom puking, AK? She blamed it on nerves due to the show business thing, but are we buying that?
I don't know. I need more information.
That was just random. Like
it looks sketchy and off, but there's a few sketchy and off things that we've been, given a little like breadcrumbs of that we're still waiting for them to tie up. So we'll see how they do it.
Did Tobert say he knew exactly what drugs they were or what drugs it was? Did he let that slip? Yeah, now that season 9, I think I'm literally like in the next 2 days probably going to go and do just a whole.
Wait, knew what drugs who was taking?
Know what drugs killed Ben?
I don't recall.
Maybe like there was like a rat problem in that suite, so maybe Dickie had got rat poison to help, and then since he poisoned Ben with rat poison, and then he survives, he made sure that the reports were like wiped clean of what poison it was, so that just in case if Ben was like, wait, what poisoned me? He was like, oh, it's like rat poison. He was like, wait a minute, my brother.
I like that.
If he had an actual reason to have the right poison, though, you can still play that way. So
Dickie did it. I'm calling it. That's not bet on. I'm betting on Dickie. That's one of the murders.
See, that's the thing. It's too dead on.
Yeah, and why are they showing us Donna in the bathroom puking? Like, please tell me Cliff didn't get his mother pregnant. Unless we find out.
Oh, don't put that in the ether, man.
Oh, man, why is she in there puking? Like, I thought she was past the pregnancy days, but maybe not. Like, you never know. Modern science, crazy.
Yeah, they already said in the beginning of the episode how one couple couldn't conceive, and they're able to.
Yeah.
How this?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Just putting it in there. Like, I don't know. What is she doing? I don't know. A lady like out in there puking like that. I don't know why that's the first thing I think of, but we never know.
That could be Maple. That could end up being Maple end of the season. Who knows?
That's what.
Could end up being pregnant.
Oh wow, that'd be crazy.
She don't need that in her life right now.
Right?
That time skip, boom, pregnant.
Oh no. But Donna gave quite the mother will do anything to protect her child speech. And I don't know, are we gonna find out that she killed Ben to save her son's first show?
I thought it was gonna lead to something like that. But then I'm like, maybe. I don't know.
Kind of. That's the way they're painting it.
Mm-hmm. She's just trying to take whatever bad eyes off of him, and put them on her because she feels like
yes, it is.
She needs to take that responsibility because that's his mom,
I mean, they're painting it like she's going to do whatever she needs to do to save her son's show, and that's why Donna's like, oh, or Loretta's so caught up, and Loretta seems to have Donald's words ringing in her head and can't make it stop. She wants to make up for lost time and protect her dear little Dickie. But he almost seemed to be making a confession to her out in the lobby. But I don't know. I'm guessing we're going to find out she took that way out of context, because now I'm starting to think that Dickie didn't do it either. Like
This was like the first we hear that they had an argument, and she was like, "Wait a minute, you had an argument?"
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she's going to take that out of context, and she thinks he did it, but he really didn't.
And did they say that he was the one that kind of like alluded to like hero fucking pig on the mirror?
I don't recall that, but it could be something that slipped in my memory. I will say though that the thing that really put it into why I don't think Dickie did it at all is when he was talking to her about that argument. He said that he was pissed off, but he knew that all it's going to take is a couple hours for him to cool down, and Ben's going to come right back in and rope him back in, just tomorrow morning when they both wake up again. So he may have been upset, and but Ben's a dick. We all know that, and in the end, he even says as much. But I don't think he has it in him to kill him.
Yeah, definitely out of context. But how Loretta's already got it in her mind. Like Oliver and Mabel have both told her that they think it's Dickie.
That they think Dickie do it, and Dickie has to go talk to the cops now. So now she's thinking, now the cops are thinking that Dickie's doing it. So she's trying to do whatever she can to make it seem like it was definitely her.
Yeah, that's already all planted in her mind. So when she's going out there talking, she's already thinking he's the killer. So everything he says is probably making him even look more guilty, and that's how it's taken out of context. And she's going to think one thing when he was really like, "Yeah, I hated it, but no, I didn't kill him." Is going to be the ending of it. So yeah,
agreed.
Still think Ben wrote it on the mirror. Yeah, I think Ben did too. They kind of did try to make it look like maybe Dickie did that, but yeah, I think Ben wrote that message on the mirror. But yeah, if I find out it really was Donna all along, I'm going to be a little bummed out. Like, she was at both scenes of the crime, and she talked about how much money she was lighting on fire and how she'd do anything to protect her son. But I don't know. I think that'll be, if I find out Donna's the killer, it's going to be kind of lame. But she did also say earlier, like, we had one person for this show. And she wasn't really talking about when Ben died. She was talking about Brazos. Like, we had kind of one name for this show. And then you fired him, Oliver. Like, now what are we? So it doesn't sound like she was ever that on board with Ben in the first place.
I was gonna say, well, what if she's sus too? Especially that conversation she had talking about, what a mother will do for their kid.
That's what
the best thing for the show was having the star die, because you could ride on that cloud easily, a lot more easily than dealing with Ben's ass alive.
Or just save it and stop the show. Like she didn't want her son
want him to fail.
To be a dud.
Yeah.
Like she said, the first show is the most important. You can't have it be a dud. And we already heard the critic was there getting ready to set this on fire because it was awful. So it was going to be a dud, and she couldn't have that for her son. So she kills the star with the one way to make sure the play can't go off. And basically now she's on another path, like trying to find it or make it better or be on board with this one, because
I'm sold. Forget Dickie.
It isn't Dickie. No, it's not Dickie.
Yeah,
I think it makes absolute sense for Donna.
Track what I said earlier. Edit it out.
Yeah.
Just sold them both. It's Donna. That's what I took out of this episode. I felt like that's what they're telling us. I was like, they're trying to paint it like Donna did this to save her son. She already said, they gave us all this. First show can't be a dud. She'll do anything for her son. Got to protect him. So, yeah. Ben's acting seemed terrible. Yeah, that's why he was going to get flamed. Maxine was going to let it be known. But, yeah, after talking with Dickie, it seemed obvious that Loretta was going to take the fall for him. And that's another reason why I wasn't buying it. It was just too obvious. But before Loretta can take the stage, Oliver stops her and professes his love and says, I don't know. This almost made me think that maybe she wouldn't confess because of all this going on. And now, like, oh, my God, I can be in love and have my show and basically have my cake and eat it too. But I don't know. What if that was the bigger Easter egg in the beginning of this episode, that we thought it was like just obvious, but we find out that it was the conductor piano player who killed Ben. And then we saw Matthew Broderick ride him hard. And we know that like Ben was an even bigger dick. So what if we find out that conductor piano player actually was the killer? And that was the Easter egg at the beginning, was him standing on the roof. And we're like, oh my God, that's obvious. Like they just showed it to us. But then we find out that it was kind of, like I said, an Easter egg in an Easter egg. And it was obvious, but it wasn't obvious because they're letting us know, boom, here's your murderer.
This is like Umo all over again.
Right, exactly.
Next topic.
So much circumstantial evidence going into this one plot.
I'm telling you, that was it. That was the Easter egg. It's Inception. It's an egg inside an egg. I was like, why would they? I mean, that's not even an Easter egg. That is so blatantly obvious, but it's like too obvious. It made me go back and rewatch. Like, it's too obvious. They're making us look at that and we're missing something else. And I think that's what they're doing with the show. They're making us look at this, but it's too obvious. We need to look somewhere else. I think that's what they're doing. She might get over Oliver taking her back, but calling her son creepy is the end of that relationship.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Oh man, that'd be awesome if you find out that piano player is the killer. That'd be so out of left field and ridiculous. And there is a fine line between good, solid detective work and committing crime. Charles and Mabel, like that was so rude, digging through Loretta's things and reading her personal letters. Like, where do you draw the line, Phantom?
That was just out of pocket, though. I was like, they were just like sitting there. I'm like, why would y'all just like, let me just like go and open this up and see what this is. So let me read the letter as well. I'm like, whoa.
What other personal information can I just take and look out of yours? Like, that was way out of line. I don't know. That was so rude digging through that. I was like, that was messed up. That was 5 steps too far. But on the flip side, now they see what Loretta is hiding, and it may very well be them that get Detective Williams to free an innocent Loretta, now knowing the truth of her situation. That she's not the murderer. She's just been following her son that nobody realized was her son.
Yeah, these are pictures of Dickie, not of Ben.
Exactly. So that might actually be them that gets them out. But that was still out of, like you said, that was out of pocket. They went way too far looking through things like that.
Facts.
But Mabel quickly realizes that the scrapbook isn't pictures of Ben, it's pictures of Dickie, and just then the police arrive to arrest dear brother Dickie. Like, this is all going down while Loretta's practicing her song, and the urgency of the situation is like just making her bring it. And then she really brings the house down when she gives a full confession to the killing of Ben Glenroy. Like, with details, which I still don't believe was her, but I don't know. I think she might know who did it, because how else, again, did she know about the poison? Like, what's up?
Also,
go ahead, AK.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's low-key a bit gaslightish, though, because he's not being arrested. He's being brought in for an interview. That's it.
I don't know.
The first time was like him being interviewed because they couldn't go for the dinner, and then the second time is something else.
Yeah, they came in like
they weren't putting him in handcuffs though.
Oh, she came in with 2 cops behind her. Like, they made it look like he was getting.
Yeah, this was something different.
And that's what made her run up there.
But they started walking out. If it was a full-on arrest, they would have had to read him his rights and put him in handcuffs. They were just walking out. It's possible that she could have extended him that courtesy, but she's a no-nonsense, no bullshit cop. I don't think she would have done that.
I think that they were getting ready. I mean, maybe we didn't see it exactly, but they framed it like they were putting the handcuffs on him, and that's what made her snap and stop singing and confess to everything. Like, no, I can't let an innocent man go to jail for what I did, and she confessed to it all. But I don't think I think he is innocent, and she's not. But yeah, I think they were putting him in the handcuffs, and that's what made her snap.
Okay, well, maybe they just didn't show that, but yeah, that's not the inclination I got.
Williams announced that Ben was poisoned to Oliver in front of everyone. Okay, so there you go. That's how she knows about the poison.
Well, haven't they been talking about the poison for a few episodes now?
Well, it's
common knowledge. I thought.
No, because the thing had come back clean. No, I don't think we've realized that he was actually poisoned for a fact until we heard Dickie say that he's been covering up things for Ben his whole life. And then then that's what made me go, oh, that tells me that he probably covered up the autopsy that came back clean, and it probably wasn't. Like, that was the first concrete evidence we got about it. But yeah. Detective Williams is like, damn, didn't see that one coming, and arrest her instead of Dickie. And Oliver's yelling no, and Dickie is just staring in disbelief. And how long until he finds out the truth about her being his mom, Phantom?
Probably next episode.
I mean, it's got to come quick. So yeah, probably right away.
Because he's gonna want an explanation of like why you're doing this. Granted, I'm your manager, we're becoming friends, but like I wouldn't do that for like, for like my own manager or my own friend. I just barely know like how many months it's been? Like a little more than 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know the age gap. But
Age gap.
you said how old it's been? How much?
No,
older?
how long?
No, how long he's been the manager.
Oh,
Not just manager, but how long they knew each other.
Yeah.
Who, Ben and Dickie?
No, Dickie and
Dickie and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Just since this play started, a few months. Yeah, I get you. All this was too much for Oliver to handle, and he has a second heart attack in the gooseberry in as many months. And do we like start the next episode in the hospital?
Of course.
Definitely.
This poor guy. He's not gonna die. Hey, what's up, Slammin'? I see you out there. Obviously he's not gonna die, but is he gonna spend like over half the episode, or is he gonna have to break out to solve this murder? Like, how long is he gonna be spent cooped up in this hospital, fandom?
I'm only surprised he's in like just a wheelchair. Kind of like how Charles was in a wheelchair in the first season for like a little bit, but just for him, it's gonna be like more than one episode.
Who did lock that door? That's what we're saying.
Isn't that discount Oscar still living back there?
Oh, that John Blue.
Yeah.
Could maybe. I mean, whoever the murderer is, maybe it was the piano player, concert master, was in there shredding evidence. But somebody was shredding some kind of evidence on something. I mean, was it someone who bought poison and had a receipt for it and was shredding the receipt? I mean, I don't know. Did somebody give somebody a letter and tell them to do something and then put it out? And that's where the 3 people on the murder are going to be. Like, somebody said to do it and 2 of them pulled it off. Somebody said to do it, 1 tried, 1 failed, and the 3rd one actually did it, pushing them down the elevator. Like, yeah, we need to figure out who locked that door and who was in there shredding papers, because that's where the big clue is. That's the murder. That's what they pinned it into. The hospital or the police station is where it starts out. Yeah, we could start out with Loretta, but I don't know. With us ending on Oliver on the ground, I think we have to start off in the hospital. You think it was Tobert in there doing it? Yeah, I mean, Tobert was my very first guess when we all started this. That's where the rat poison is. Absolutely, inside the office. What's John have to shred? What's John have to shred? Who's John?
Oh, is that the hobo guy?
Oh, what he's asking what does John have to shred?
Who knows what the dude's got? Random puppets.
Maybe
set up back there. Who knows what he had to shred?
Maybe somebody wrote him a letter saying, do this, kill this person for me or whatever, and I'll give you money or something like that. And then he had to shred the letter. Yeah, I don't know. We got to figure out, because that's the murderer who's in there. Oh, but man, that was an absolutely fantastic episode. They're just getting better and better, and I'm glad. I mean, no filler. They're just starting to bring it one right after the other. I personally think I might have liked the last episode just a little bit better, but I mean, they're both right on par. Just 9s, getting better and better, and I'm here for it. What do we think of this one, fandom?
Yeah, a 9. A lot happened this episode. There was a bunch of laughs. Then with this stream we're doing, I'm tied between Dickie and Donna. No, I'm back to Donna now. He did it.
Oh, they should have painted it like it's Donna. I don't know. Is it too much? And why was she in that bathroom puking? I need to know. It wasn't just nerves from the Broadway stuff. Like 40 years and I still get nervous. Nah, something's up. Like back when
she's nervous about telling her son that that's her son.
Back when Cliff was like freaking out and doing stress dancing, he was like, if it's not one thing, it's like, did he really say if it's not one thing, it's another, or if it's not one thing, it's another mother? If it's not one thing, it's a mother. Like, did he really say if it's not one thing, it's another, or did he say if it's not one thing, it's a mother? And boom, that was our clue that it's the mother that did it, and Donna actually was the killer of this the whole time.
I think
no,
just
at this point, if it's a season 4,
speech.
The murderer is automatically a woman, and every single woman actor, boom, has to potentially be the murderer. I'm not even gonna look at a male at that point.
Everybody's gonna have a reason.
Yeah, I mean, Cliff isn't.
And everybody's gonna be right.
Cliff is in touch with his feminine side, so I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Look at he used to say he don't have some random extra personality that comes out and is a female serial killer.
To me, that's what they're painting as. They're painting Donna as the killer, and
Yeah,
it should be kind of brutal because she's had like what 7 minutes of screen time this entire series. So kind of brutal, but got to swing it somehow.
She's been working in the shadows.
Oh man. Well, we got just a couple trivia questions. See what everybody remembers about this episode. If you're out there and
nothing.
watching, or write them in the comment section, or write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. What is Loretta's last name?
No clue.
And this episode I didn't do no notes.
I wrote.
Jake, you won this week.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Slamming was like, you got to get that and absolutely put a beat behind it because
I was thinking of sending it to a boy that did the it was Agatha All Along remix. He's usually pretty steady on Twitter. So hey, have you seen this, bro? You want to do something with that?
Yeah, I definitely don't think the Poisoner and Elevator Shaft are the same person.
Yeah. So Dickie again. Haha. Return.
Oh, what was Loretta? Oh, yeah. If we didn't know her last name, we're definitely not going to know her address. What was Loretta's address?
No, not at all.
Deep dive. What were Ben's parents' name?
Martha and Wayne.
Durkin, absolutely correct. It was Loretta Durkin. Well done, Jake. Oh, I'll be super impressed if you get her what her address was. But what were Ben's parents' names? Do we know that one?
I do not
remember. How about what city did Ben's parents live in?
Don't remember that either.
Chicago.
That is a good guess, but incorrect.
Yeah, might as well be Gotham for all I know.
What did Howard rush back to the office to shred? He didn't want the police to get the wrong idea. Oh, Jake nailing another one. Well done, you.
Mm-hmm.
The parents were from St. Louis. Absolutely correct. What did Howard run back to shred so people didn't get the wrong impression? So out of line.
Is it a drug list or the medical exam, something or other?
Something completely out of left field. Very Howard.
Yeah, I don't remember them.
Very Howard. What magazines did Howard have back issues of in his office?
Chat magazine.
What magazine did Charles have back issues of in his office?
You said Charles?
Yeah. He was telling Detective Logan stuff in there. He's like, magazine.
Was it a foodie magazine? I don't know why I'm thinking it's a foodie magazine.
It was not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's shameful that neither one of you got it. I'll say that for a clue.
Yeah.
What's that?
I guess when the stream ends, I gotta hear what this answer is.
Right.
How long is the Charles Pickwick Triples patter song?
How long is it?
2 minutes and I want to say 2 minutes and 12 seconds, but that's not it. It's 2 minutes and something seconds. Or is it
3 minutes?
3 minutes and 12 seconds. 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
Dang, because they explain like how long you had to distract.
Yeah. That's the exact scene that's playing in my head. I'm trying to remember what is the number he said.
I
don't think it's very long.
Incorrect, Jake. But yeah, you guys are
singing the whole song.
Oh, what a great one. That's good. That's funny you remember the exact scene, but not the exact answer. What bus company did Loretta travel on? There's a deep dive. Where was her bus ticket from? It was not
Where was it from?
What company? It wasn't Greyhound. Oh, look at Jake coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Terrace bus lines, absolutely correct. Wow, that's a deep dive. Nice one, Jake. Oh, that's so funny. That's such an exact answer you gave, and just so wrong. But that's funny.
There's a 2 and a 3 in there somewhere. I just don't remember what order.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like so exact.
I almost want to say 2 minutes and 37 seconds, but I don't think that's right either.
See if Jake really took notes. Here's a real deep dive. What date was Loretta's bus ticket purchase?
Like the day after she graduated high school.
Dang, it's like in the beginning of the episode, all the questions come from.
All right, yeah, exactly.
Actually, this was on the. They showed the ticket in the end credits. I thought you said credits. I don't watch it, and I made the.
Yeah, it's like the one day
I very rarely watch the end credits,
and I literally was like writing down like trivia, like questions from it. And then when the day you didn't do any of it, I was like, he ain't gonna do it.
See, that's why we got to stop telling him the strategies that we be writing these notes down. That's the problem.
Oh, Jake's out there just crushing it. March 8th, 76. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And what city was her ticket purchased in? In what city did they buy that ticket?
Cleveland? Why did I think Cleveland? I have no idea.
Kind of a trick question. It's already been answered. That's awesome. If he brings it in,
is it St. Louis?
It is 100% St. Louis. Bringing it back around, I was trying to end on an easy one. Oh, but yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Loving how they're doing this. Loving the way they're going to wrap this one up. It looks like it's just going to keep getting better and better to right up until the end. I am here.
Indeed.
Oh, so we're going to be back on Thursday doing the next Ahsoka episode, so be ready for that. And other than that, I hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here until we see you on Thursday. Be easy, everybody.